welcome. This is Robert, and welcome once again to our podcast series on technologies in education and learning. How this is affecting knowledge. Is it helping decolonize knowledge, or is it leading to a further colonization of knowledge? So jumping in, I'd like to ask you both to kind of give your opening statement. What do you think about AI and ChatGPT? Are these beneficial technologies in education, or are they potentially dangerous technologies in education?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think this is a very interesting topic and very, very insightful. For me, I think obviously there are both positives and negatives in each and everything that almost in existence in this world. But I have seen a lot of opportunities that are there in terms of aiding knowledge and also aiding learning. One of the most important things, of course, in terms of learning is that information has become very much accessible because of these information technologies and IA. And that's very fundamental, but also there are also critical questions on who controls the technology and who defines what is accurate, who shares information, who has got access to the information. I think that kind of has also created that knowledge gap, particularly between different levels, be it global south, global north. In Africa, for example, one person doesn't have a computer, another person does not understand what is going on.
It's going to create a gap.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know, but I think there's more work to be done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's like machinery. When Europe started revolutionizing in machinery and stuff, they developed, further. And it is happening right now. Some people don't have even computer and internet. But now we are using ChatGPT here, right? For example, Norway, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I think, in that terms, I think we're gonna dominate in some sort of technology and digitalization. But again, my idea is a little bit maybe the same as what you just said. I think it should be controlled. I think it's sometimes it's out of hand as flow of information is too much. Sometimes I think students or educators or students don't know which data to use because there are a lot of data out there. And again, we have to authenticate the data, and that's something we have to take care. But I think I'm still unsure who is in charge of this tool. It's a weapon. Let's put it this way, okay? Who is in charge of this? Who is holding the trigger here? Okay,
That's a very critical and interesting question to ask, and I think it's $1 million question. Who controls that?
And you said there needs to be some control.
Yes.
But who would you be willing to give the authority to have that control?
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. Can Donald Trump be in charge, for example?
Give me all the control. Give me the power.
So I think the problem right now I see in this technology is that who's in charge, okay? Who's controlling this? Who's controlling the data? Who's monitoring the data? Okay, I know, for instance, Facebook had issues with securities and the data leak, right, for example, or other platforms that we have, like social media. Where my information is going, it's not been it might be dictated by some powerful people or people in industry, right? And I don't like it personally because I don't know who's in charge of my data. Okay, who's controlling my this data and what's going to happen in the future. Okay, and that's what we are calling here colonization, because some powerful people probably
It's another form of domination.
Exactly.
That is actually technologically, like people are taking control and controlling what we can access and what we can think. Actually, it's more broader, like it is going to shape how people can think. But I think it's a very good resource, but I think it needs a lot of critical approach in terms of use.
And if I can jump in we were talking about colonization and decolonization of education and knowledge. And the idea in decolonization of education is that, for a long time now, really, since the Enlightenment, we've had one way of validating what is good knowledge. And that a dominant kind of voice, and all other voices, all other perspectives have been pushed aside for a kind of
Yes.
one dominant way of knowledge, valid knowledge. And now we really need to open up a diversity of voices. Or is AI allowing us to access that diversity of knowledge and voice? Or is it
Exactly.
limiting us to a small number of voices? This is one of the critical questions here.
Exactly. I mean, I have examples that I can provide you today, but I have experimented and I have examples that the AI pushed me towards a certain agenda and ideas, right? It pushes me, it's exactly like what TikTok and YouTube and maybe Instagram is doing right now. They are pushing the videos, certain videos that I really don't want to watch, but they push it to me as an advertisement or as a suggestion videos, right? Which I really don't want to watch. I think what AI is doing right now is exactly the same thing. I'm searching for a certain topic, and it pushes the ideas that probably powerful people behind it have. I don't know who's controlling again. That's the question here, right? Who's in charge? But the idea and the answers I'm getting, I'm not happy with it because I think it's been pushed to me. And certain topics I'm searching and I'm not getting the right answer. And I know the answers are there and in the book is written in the books and it's over the internet, but it's not giving it to me, which means
There's
somebody
some
yes,
level of control of
exactly.
what
There is some level of
censorship.
exactly some sort of censorship. Do we want that in 2024 or in the future, right?
I don't think so.
So somebody is already start censoring the data, right? And pushing agendas to us and ideas to us. And that's I personally think I'm against it 100%. I love AI, but I'm against it right now.
Is it censored data, or is it that the amount of fake news
Yes.
and fake data out there is larger than the accurate data, and so the AI is picking up on the fake data and fake news?
I think it is on different levels. It's also about fake data and information that is around, but also limiting the broadness of information deliberately, not allowing you
Yes.
possibly to get certain information or like safing the information. So there's another element of having a broad data and a lot of information, making it difficult to know what is right and what is wrong, what is true, what is false,
Yeah.
but also the idea of limiting access to certain thought process. For example, indigenous knowledge systems is an example.
I think I can give you an example of, for example, North Korea, right? I think we don't have a lot of information on internet about North Korea, right? So I think AI cannot have possibly information as well, right? Because where the data comes from, right? We don't have a database of what's going on in North Korea or some dictatorship countries, right? So I think the data is limited and it's picking data that is just provided by some random people on the internet, probably, or some data that probably somebody provided for these data models or the AI models, right? So I think the lack of data. 10 minutes, right? We've got time. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So I think we need to figure out. I mean, as a people who are in education, we're trying to teach the students about this. We have to know, okay, what is going on in the back scene or behind the scene, right? So yeah. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead,
no. So, I mean, of course, our podcast is focused on use of technologies and learning, and we've discussed some of the, I would say, more some of the dangers around use of AI and ChatGPT. What about for our students? Are there benefits for them in working with these technologies? Do we see actual learning benefits that they can gain from?
Uh, Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I mean, I certainly think new technologies bring some values to life, but it doesn't mean it helps the students with their learning, or I think actually it's very very dangerous to use these tools because they stop thinking critically and they're not problem solvers anymore because somebody is solving the problem for them. As a human being, we are evolving this way, okay, by thinking critically, solve the problem, have problem, solve them, fail, and solve it again, right? So if there is no failure anymore, every time we are failing and somebody's coming and helping us, then we become spoiled brats, right? So we're not gonna evolve and we're not gonna become better. So I think it's dumbing humanity, and maybe next generation they dumbing down these people, And I think it's dangerous in that case. But I think we need to find a way to utilize these technologies in a way that everyone benefits it, but also still we think critically, we solve the problems ourselves. But these come and assist us, not problem solver.
Place.
This is not a problem solver for us. It's not taking place our brain, basically, right? Let's put it this way: this is becoming our brain. Whatever, whenever we have a problem, chat GPT, and it solves it for us. How many? You don't even think 3 seconds about our problems anymore, right? Every that 3 seconds things writing a prompt in ChatGPT, basically.
I also think, of course, I agree with you with what you have just mentioned, but I also think that I look from the perspective of the global south, where I come from. I realized that, for example, when we were studying, when students are studying history, studying economy, accounts, and other subjects, you realize that it was very difficult for them to be able to access information, to access books, to access libraries. They have very limited resources in terms of those aspects. But now we see that students are actually performing very well because they've different opportunities to get information.
Yeah.
But now the challenge where I find it very difficult is that the accessibility of these resources are not for everyone.
Yeah,
They are expensive for other
Yeah.
students, and also even those who have accessed them, the skill to be able to critically utilize the information.
Yes,
Because it's
exactly.
one thing to have resources, and it's another thing to be able to actually utilize the resources and use them as effective tools. I think that's where I agree with you
Yes,
that
we are on the same page here. Effectively use these
effectively
tools.
use
Yes.
the tools. It's another challenge that we have. So it's an opportunity, but it's also a challenge that we have in terms of utilization. Yeah.
Yeah. This has been a really good conversation. I think just to sum up, what I'm hearing is that we believe that it's important as educators that we bring a level of digital literacy to our students so that they are aware of these technologies, aware of some of the potential dangers and pitfalls of using these technologies. But at the same time, we're not quite sure on good ways that they could use them in the learning. But we have a responsibility to make them savvy towards the reality of their existence and how they potentially could be used.
I think to sum it up, right? I think we don't have a very good understanding of these systems yet ourselves. So we can't, as educator, we can't also educate other people about something we don't know, right? So I think we need more study and research around this and the for long-term effect of this type of technology on the people, right? So I think we need more research and study
And
around
exploration
this.
in terms of that. Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you
And
for
thank you,
having us
everyone.
today
Thank you
here.
very much.